Hello, royal tubers, and welcome to the epilogue of Dragon Quest III, as we now rule a kingdom, and I figured I might as well record having some fun in the castle, because we can actually move around and talk to people. The king examined the area, but the king found nothing useful. All hail the new King, Blue! Oh, you're so wonderful, Blue. Please stay here with me forever. See, we got a new wife. Our party, I think is gone. Yep. The king, long ago, the king was very powerful, but we're just a king now. We don't have any items. We're not allowed to use spells. We can search, though. And, we're not allowed to change our tactics. It's unnecessary. Ruling is the only tactic. Pretty sweet. I'm truly happy to speak with you, your majesty. And that's all he says. All hail the new king. Sweet. So now that we're the king, can we go to the treasury? We probably have no need for the treasure, actually. I've heard about how you became the new king. So now we must ask you not to leave the town. Wait, what? I thought I was the king. I can go where I want to go. Your Highness, have you heard? The wizard's wand is capable of firing an unlimited amount of fireballs at enemies. If only you had one. That would be pretty sweet, actually. Give me a wand of fireballs. King Blue, you look magnificent. You're going to be a great ruler. I do look magnificent. I have a little scepter, I think. Yeah. Gold crown, cool pimp cloak. What? He gave you the crown? Oh, he must be up to his old tricks again. That's our inherited father-in-law, I guess. The old king's father. We should have him removed. First thing to do when you secure power is remove all potential claims to the throne from your rivals. So, get that old man out of here immediately. Alright, this guy was threatened for, he was locked up for working with Kandar or something. Oh, so you're the new king. I heard you let Kandar escape, though. How could... Look, I tried really hard to kill him. He's the one who should be locked up here, not me. Sorry, man. I didn't have an option. They but thou musted me. Also, I'm the king now. Shouldn't I be able to just let him go? Thing. Also, I'm the king now. Can I please go into my treasury? Guards! All hail King Blue, the flame that keeps life's candle burning. Wow, I got some cool titles now. I guess there's a little barracks in the corner we should visit. If only I had defeated Kandar, then I could have become the king. Your Majesty, you gave me quite a scare. I've heard all about your heroisms. You were born to be this country's ruler. Well, no. That part is a bit of a lie. We were born to do something else, like maybe find our father and kill Baramos. But being a king is fun. Okay. Let's go meet our citizens. Oh, you're certainly younger than the last king. You'll certainly help to bring some life back into the withering country. Hey boy, how's it going? Rough, rough, rough. Your Highness, please, you must save the village of Noannuals to the north. It's already been a couple years since I heard from my cousin. I really hope that everything's okay. No, they're all asleep, probably dying of starvation. They're probably dead by now. You can't just live for 2 years in a coma without any food or anything. You just die. Oh, King Blue, so you're our new king. Well, I wish you the best of luck. No need for benedictions when you can't get cursed or killed as king. Your Highness honors these travelers with your kind words. How thrilling. Your Highness, will you be going out for a walk? Yes. I see. It is pretty nice out. You shouldn't stay inside forever. That's right, guys. Everyone go outside once in a while. Hello, Your Highness. Has Alihan's brave hero come by our town yet? That is, I'm the king and I'm Alihan's hero. It's too dangerous for you to leave the town. But I'm the king that slew mostly Kandar. Surely I'm stronger than the guards. I could probably just push them out of the way, right? That would be no. Your Highness, what are you doing here? Well, I have something useful to tell you. They say the Cloak of Evasion is sold in Noannuals. Well, that would be very handy. Pretty good armor for our fragile light armor characters. Just exploring my town. Got like 3 houses. Oh, your majesty. I'm so honored that you'd visit an old woman like myself. Well, I think we already robbed her pretty well, so we don't need to do any more looting. Things were quite alright the way they were. By the way, the former king headed downstairs. He seemed a little bit too happy. Welcome! I thought you were the king for a second. We owe it to the king that we keep our shops open for business. Well, I am the king, can't you tell? Oh, you're the new king. Please lower the taxes. So how are we going to save Noannuals or find our dad if we're stuck here forever? I mean, our dad might be dead, but, you know, no one saw the body, probably. Oh, your highness, what are you doing out here? Haha, uncle's quite a show-off. 'Tis I, the former king. Commoners sure have it good. I never knew that gambling could be so much fun. Are you enjoying being the new ruler? Well, yes. I'm glad to hear that. Until we meet again. Look, everyone, it's the king! Even the king is just a man, and men can't always resist temptation. Don't worry, though. I'll pretend I never saw you. Aha! All hail the new king! Why have you come to such a devious place, your highness? Oh, for the next lesson. Aha! Me too. I'm not quite sure what lesson it is, but, you know. Are we gambling? No, we're just watching and enjoying. You can't even gamble as king. Suffice to say, the game is not over. You probably got caught on by now. And maybe we can't stay as king if we want to continue our adventure. Oh, you've grown tired of it already. Yes. I see. I won't make you continue doing something you dislike. It was fun while it lasted, but I need my rest. And you must continue your travels, Blue. I've been made king about 5 times myself. You just need to ask him again if you ever want to be put back in charge. Blue, you did a great job. The experience alone should have been worth it. You never know, maybe you'll actually become a king someday. Ha ha ha. I wouldn't be surprised. Now be gone, and good luck on your adventure. I wish I looked like you. You're so young, but it's inevitable. There are just some things that have to happen. Would you like to hear the winds whisper? Fine. Ever since you rid Champagne Tower of Kandar, it's become a tranquil place. Thank you so much for restoring beauty to it. Alright, and that's it for this town for now. So, I believe the only choice we have is to go across a bridge and die, go to the northeast and get mauled by bears, or go to the northwest and try to save the elves. I guess. Or befriend the elves. Ugh. So, without further ado, we don't have a whole lot of options. We're going to head north. We're going to rest at the inn to get some MP. The king is not allowed to have MP, clearly. Shouldn't I get a discount as previous monarch to the kingdom? A kingly discount? Alright, return to Kazav first, because I want to buy some armor. I probably could, there's probably a strong argument that says, Blue, don't waste your money, just save your money, save your gold so that when you can eventually buy Cloaks of Evasion, you can buy them. But, I want that 5 defense. It's probably really a terrible decision, but... Alright, so I've got some iron armor. There aren't really any other purchasable upgrades at the moment. We got all our shields. Now, to be fair, I could buy more iron shields if I went back to the Parcheesi game. But I don't think anyone can equip them except Blue. They're a heavy warrior armor, basically. Warriors and heroes only, I think. Fighters can't wear stuff like that. Well, look at that. Iron armor, iron shield, some wooden helmet. Fairly well equipped. Leather armor, scale shield, wooden helmet. Not that great. Scale mail, chainmail, scale shield for hood. Leather kilt. You know, the jester and the merchant tend to wear the random assortment of equipment. It's kind of strange. Anyway, that should do. I also learned the remember spell. I don't know if it makes any difference at all, but I can remember more now if I ever actually use that. Anyway, we hopped all the way over to here. Let's go visit that cave just beside the elf town, because there's not really anywhere else we can go where we won't get murdered. So let's go here. Boomerang is equipped. Focus down the terrible birds. Please and thank you. Ooh, fella, it's getting strong. Killing birds in one blow. Let's just speed this up. We spent like the first 10 minutes of the episode just playing King. I'd like to at least get to the next dungeon before we run out of time. So, random cave. Why are we going to this cave? I don't think anyone really said anything. We're looking for a dream ruby and 2 people that ran off. An elf girl and some human boy that ran off. There's basically just nowhere else to go, so we're going to explore this cave. And get some money for it. Actually, if I cast the location spell, I might learn the name of it. Also, these enemies might be super strong. I don't know. Well, so far, they have done 0 damage to us. Definitely not bear quality. Okay, let's cast location. This is the basement floor 1 of Underworld Lake. See, we learned information that we would never have otherwise guessed because of Thief spell. Somewhere in this cave is a hot spring that restores HP. But why does it flow out of such an odd place? This place is full of sorrow. Do you ever feel that everybody else knows more than you? When random NPCs in a dangerous cave know all of life's secrets? Ooh, he has the Ice Bolt spell. Did you see that? That did, like, pretty good damage there. Maybe we should try to focus down the vampires if they've got strong magic. Still, the boomerang chain whip combo is working pretty good. Sure, this would have been a fight where the steel sword would have done a little better, but I'm only going to do those weapon equip changes when it's really going to make a big difference. You found some holy water. I think we could use that to lower encounter rates if I ever get really tired of fighting. Okay, that's the way down. Let's see if there's anything over to the east side. Oh, they can put you to sleep. Oh yeah, you still want to kill the mushrooms first then. The vampires and their ice magic is painful, but being put to sleep would be much worse. Okay, there's 2 different areas with staircases. Well, I don't know where to go. We'll go this way first, and we'll see what happens. You found another mini-medal. That puts us at 7, I think? What a nice loop. Only one way to go. So this looks like maybe the hot springs that they were talking about. Boomerangs are so good, guys. This is why I brought a thief. Eventually we can have 2 people using boomerangs. Flamerangs. So this is our healing spare squad, right? Probably even MP. Guess that probably means we have a strong boss fight. I'm going to put another save down because I keep forgetting to make in-game saves all the time. So I just gotta make sure I use save states once in a while, just in case something terrible happens. And I should make backups between episodes if I was a good Let's Player. Alright, what's over here? Cave of the Underworld. We've got vampires, so... some sort of undead boss, maybe? Why are we here? Nobody knows. We're just exploring a random cave by the elf village. Oh, that's kind of annoying too. The dogs have the sap spell, or defense down, whatever it's called. So if they get a chance to really stack that up and then start attacking, we probably take a lot of damage. I'm gonna check the north side first before we go down a level, but that's probably the right way to go. Yeah, I get a feeling that these are the kind of fights that, like, if we were a little bit weaker with less attack, this would actually be a fairly difficult encounter zone, just because there's a lot of nasty status effects on the enemies around here, and between being put to sleep and having your defense drop to 0, you'll have a pretty bad day. But because of our boomerangs and stuff, we are killing these enemies really quickly. So that way we're not really... well, we don't have to do anything. We just win the fight before anything happens. Yeah, if you had a wizard or a mage, whatever they're called... I'm going to use that on myself right now because I've been doing all the boomeranging, and a couple more damage to everything with the boomerang is pretty awesome. I would like to get more than 1 point though, and I'm going to patient it out. I refuse to not get 3 strength. There you go. Actually, I did realize one thing. If you plan on doing class changes later on, it's kind of better to hold on to your... that looked like a hammer. That did not look like a spear. If you're planning on doing class changes, maybe hold on to your seeds till you're done all that. I don't want to get into all the mechanics right now, but suffice to say, we're kind of wasting them by using them on M. Dobry or Holly, who definitely are getting a class change, and Fella, who might get a class change. Your hero will never change classes, so using seed items on them is a little bit safer, because you'll never lose those the stat points. But then again, usually there's kind of a... although min-maxing for the end of the game, saving all your seeds for the end, is technically stronger. It's kind of an opportunity cost. It's more valuable to have those strength points early on when they make a bigger difference. Because right now, +5 strength makes a lot more difference when you only have 20 or 30 strength. At the end of the game, when you have like 100 strength, +5 doesn't really do very much. So, that's all I mean. Fella, I don't know what the worst thing here is. Just a lot of random enemies. The vampire is certainly one of the stronger attack power enemies. Okay, this was a pretty bad... that was a pretty bad encounter. Like I said, things can start going bad pretty quickly if you start getting put to sleep and stuff, so... Alright, M. Dobry learning some attack magic. So, it's unlikely I'll be using it a whole lot of the time, but... because, you know, I like to focus clerics on actually healing. But the Gale spell could be fun. I'll test it out. This is perhaps a perfect opportunity. So the Gale spell should hit a whole group, kind of like the Fireball spell, but it should be a little bit weaker than the Fireball spell, I believe. Fireball was doing like 18 to 20 damage or so. We'll see what Gale can do here. So, maybe nearly half strength Fireball? Not terrible, but honestly, I think normally you want to save your Priest MP for healing, because that's kind of their primary job. Healing and antidotes, you know, clearing status ailments, reviving people, all that kind of stuff. You found a leather dress. Sweet. I don't think anyone's going to get any value out of that. But let's check. Worse than chainmail, worse than kilts. Yeah, we knew that. And I got a free spear, which is worth a lot of money, so that's good. This might be the way to the end of the dungeon, so let's see if we can clear some of these little side rooms first. Because, you know, you found a Pachisi ticket. Sure wish I had eye for treasure. So there's one way down there. There was another stairs right in the middle here. And then I think there's just one more kind of link to the south that we haven't been on. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to waste my magic here on the Gale spell, because obviously we don't really need it. And I'd rather just save up MP for heals. This took us to a strange little bridge. Well, we must be getting pretty close to the bottom if this floor is just the lake. Now, of course, we could at any time go back to the save spot, or, well, safe spot that lets you heal up. So, you actually, assuming you recover your MP, you actually could probably spam a lot of spells down here and do some level grinding. Because pretty good experience in gold, obviously. And if there's a place to heal up in the dungeon, that's always a great opportunity for grinding. And also, lots of treasures. This has got to be the best dungeon we found yet. Lots of actual treasure, good rewards. What does the silver rosary do? Do you think it actually gives us defense? I mean, the last time we had an artifact, or an accessory that said defense, it wasn't. So, if his defense, or her defense, becomes 60, then I'll believe it. Defense is 54. Still smart, so it didn't seem to change. I'm going to have to unequip it and pay attention to stats here. 21, 24, 31, 44, 35. See if I can remember all that. I think I have to go to this page to unequip it. Oh, it was Holly. I was looking at the wrong person. Yeah, I'm going to I meant to give it to M. Dobry. Okay. If M. Dobry goes to 58, which I think maybe it did look like that worked. Oh, but it changed to romantic. Okay, okay. So it does change you. So that's... The rosary changes your personality to romantic. Also, the rabbit's foot changed my personality to happy. See, that's the trouble with those things. They give you some stats, but then they mess up your statistics by changing you to a different personality, which I don't really want. Unless I knew for sure that romantic was better than smart. But I'm pretty sure smart gives you a lot of extra wisdom, which gives you a lot more MP, which is what I care about. And romantic, I bet you doesn't do that. So, yeah, I should have noticed that earlier. I just don't think 4 defense is going to be worth potentially messing up my other stats that are going to be more valuable. And it's going to be the same thing even with blue. Because I know that my basic personality for myself is very good for vitality, which means lots of HP. Solitary gives me a lot of extra stamina and total HP. I'm not sure what happy does off the top of my head, but it's probably not as good, because solitary is pretty good. Hopefully that explains it well enough. I'm not trying to overcomplicate the personality system. I just, you know, I like the ones I started with because I sort of worked at them. And if I want to change them, I want to be smart about it. I don't want to just randomly get something that's way worse. Okay, it looks like we might be basically done exploring this floor. So what I'm going to do is, because it's so close, right? I'm just going to hop back and heal up. And then we'll go back down to probably the last floor. I'm assuming there's a boss. So a little bit of extra combat to fully heal up. Maybe get another level up. Probably not a bad idea. And I'll just go super fast because I know this is already... Well, it actually hasn't been that long of an episode, to be fair. But you know me. Sometimes I worry when dungeons drag on. This is what we got the ×3 speed for, right? I do remember Dragon Quest III definitely has some kind of surprise bosses that are much harder than you'd expect. Kandar wasn't too bad, but you never know when you're going to fight something that's got double attacks or breath, sort of fire breath, ice breath kind of stuff that's hits you way harder than you're expecting. Suddenly they're doing like 20 or 30 damage to the whole group every turn, and you can barely heal it that quickly, so that can catch you by surprise. And we don't actually have we don't have the right class yet to give us protection from magic breath and magic damage. Eventually we'll have those kinds of spells, but not yet. Alright, Holly gets a terrible level up and learns the whistle spell. Oh, good. I did mention this earlier on. This is one of the small benefits to having a jester. Holly can essentially initiate a random battle. Now, I don't think they always get to strike first. That was just bad luck. That was a terrible turn because they lowered our defense and we just sitting there. I guess it could have been worse. They could have put us all to sleep and sapped us twice and then just killed us. So thanks, Holly. Thank you. This is exactly why I love jesters. They get one ability and it nearly kills the party. I was trying to preserve MP and HP. And here we are. You know what? I'm not even going to heal you. If you die, we get to keep your experience. Like if she dies, she doesn't... Her share of the experience just gets split between the rest of the party members, so... That sounds good to us. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we'll be strong enough. I'm not terribly worried about any potential bosses right now, but all I'm trying to say is, like, if you're playing along, don't be afraid in these old JRPGs to get a couple extra level ups. Not necessarily a bad idea to get a little bit stronger than you think you need. And also make sure you put a save state down once in a while. Unless you're on a console, in which case, just be very careful. You got... What do we get? We got the Dream Ruby! There's a letter inside the chest. Blue takes it out and reads it. Mother, please forgive me for leaving this world ahead of you. I know that love between an elf and a human is forbidden. Life isn't worth living without him. And if our love is forbidden in this life, then maybe God will give us his blessing in the next. Love, Anne. You know, this was very selfish of her. An entire village was cursed. And instead of breaking the curse, I think she's supposedly just committed suicide. And left the stone that her mother was really worried about at the bottom of a dark cave. Now, to be fair, this is about a 5-minute walk away from the elf forest. But elves are really weak, so they were not strong enough to kill the monsters down here. Maybe she died to the monsters. Who knows? Anyway, I thought there'd be a boss there. Is that really it? Now, if we were really lucky, we'd have the outside spell, and we could just zip right out super fast, but... Instead of the outside spell, we have the fast forward spell, which is almost as good. Can't argue about the fast forward spell. One thing I do like in a lot of the modern remakes of these games, like the ones you see on Steam for Final Fantasy X and 12 and those kind of games, they tend to have a built-in fast forward option just into the actual remake. Like, you're not having to use an emulator function. It's just the new version lets you play it sped up, which is really cool. So I definitely appreciate that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure that Blue will eventually learn the outside spell so we can get out of dungeons immediately, but we just got to do a little bit more grinding. No bosses, but I guess this was a fairly long cave, so they figured a rest spot somewhere in the middle was a good idea, I guess. Anyway, I feel like we've probably explored this one pretty thoroughly, so unlike the last tower where I felt bad because I missed everything, this was a good dungeon. Lots of loot. Not overly mazy, although I'm starting to forget where I'm going a little bit. Oh, M-Dob. Don't let M-Dob die. There you go, M-Dob. Alright. And almost to exit. And also, like I always like to remind you guys, the NES version of this actually had a higher encounter rate in dungeons. Like, this is actually reduced. This might not feel like this is a good encounter rate. This is still pretty tough. Like, we get a lot of random encounters. The NES version was way worse. So, less experience and more fighting and taking damage. And no thieves with boomerangs. Alright. Hidden Village of the Elves. Let's get this dealt with today before we have to end the episode. Let's shame this mother elf. Is that the dream, Ruby? What? You say that Anne and that man threw themselves into the underground lake. No! Why was I so hard on them? Here, take this waking powder. That's what Anne would have wanted us to... If Anne wanted us to do that, she could have come back here, given back the friggin' dream ruby, and then killed herself. Oh, Anne, please forget... Stupid elves. Leave. Will you at least sell us stuff now that we're not enemies? No. I do kind of know... Oh, this is the human man. The human man was still living here. She put an entire village to sleep, but the father of her daughter's lover was living in the elf town all this time. I bet you there's a couple spots on the ground that we can explore. Like, if I was paying really good attention, I bet you there's a couple items in here somewhere. I bet you. If you're following a walkthrough, feel free to search the right tile and get the secret items. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there's a staff or a spell that will let us maybe look different, and then we can maybe shop at the elf village. But I think it's going to take a fair while to get there. So, seeing as spells that do useful things, let's go to no annuals. After this, I don't know where to go because we're not strong enough to survive grizzly bears or anything. Oh, I think maybe we should go to the alchemist guy. I have a hunch that maybe he's the way to spread this potion around. Yes, we did that. Yeah. We did that. The elven village is near a cave, yeah. Apparently he doesn't care. So how do we wake the villagers up? Do we just use the item? Wake up powder! Wake everybody up! Fella holds up the wake up powder. This was not the way it worked in the NES version. I don't remember any swirling leaf whirlwinds. It probably was exactly the same with less graphics. Alright, elf magic. We're lucky that didn't just put us to sleep too, because they hate us. Hooray! We saved a village! Oh, right, I was going to visit Grandpa. I heard all about it. People were talking. I don't know how you saved us, but thank you so much. He was like the only one that wasn't put asleep. I don't know what his deal was. So, maybe he's somebody special. He's like magic resistant. And the fake sleeper. Oh, what happened? Yeah. How'd the grass grow? I was totally asleep. If you had a spider web, you'd be able to slow monsters down. Maybe we can get some cool items. Like a wizard staff. We can buy these in the Pachisi board if you really care. But there's your Cloak of Evasion. Not as good as I was hoping, but it is an upgrade for Fella for sure. And I believe these things have some percentage of just straight you avoid an attack. Usually like 25% or something around that range, where not only do they give pretty good defense, they also give you a chance to completely dodge, which is pretty cool. And I guess you can use spider webs to slow enemies if you care. I'll check the weapon shop before I buy anything, but we'll probably buy one of those for Fella, because he will seem to get the biggest value out of it. I'm not going to be... You know what? I'm just getting rid of these things. We got an extra iron spear. We don't need it. I'm holding on to my steel sword, but I'll sell the dress and the rabbit's foot. I expect most of the garbage accessories we can just buy eventually anyway, if you care. I wish there was a way to use an accessory to get the stats, but not have it wreck your personality, because then I would use them, well, I would use them. But as it is, you know, it's just not worth it. How many years did I just sleep for? Man, I feel great. Like 2 years of not eating. I guess it's elf magic. They weren't exactly asleep. They were sent to a dream dimension. I think I was heading east of Romali to Ashalam to find the magic key. Well, hopefully there's no grizzly bears east of Romali. Because if there were, we would not do well. My son ran off with an elf and never returned. So I'm pretty sure her husband is the old man in the elf village who has been living without her for 2 years as well. I guess we're not going to tell her. I think I forgot to search these bags. Sometimes wall bags have items in them. Jeez, did I really just fall asleep? How long was I asleep for? What a world, what a world, what a world. Welcome to BlueAnkylos. Oh, I was asleep? Were you watching me? Well, I mean, I tried to wake you up. Oh, so we're gonna fight. I see what this is. It's a loaded question. Oh, Ortega! Have you left for good? Oh, the great Ortega brought me here when monsters attacked. That courageous man, he only left here yesterday and he looked just like you. It's like I've been asleep for, like, years. Pretty cool. I mean, it's a neat little nod. Obviously, our father went through here at some point. I've seen warriors from many places, but Ortega was truly the greatest. Huh? You're his son? Well, I'm pretty sure Ortega was staying right next door until yesterday. He must have left for Ashlam to get the magic key, but that was only yesterday. Wait, what? He died years ago? No! Yeah. This was our dad's room. Guess he didn't leave us a note. I mean, I expect he would have assumed that, like, you know, the innkeepers would clean his bed rather than let it sit there for, like, 8 years, like they must have done. So that means that, this chick's husband was living in the elf village for, like, 8 years while the village was frozen in time. Anyway, it didn't really progress very much, but I guess I don't even know what happens if you skip that. Because we could have just gone east from Romali across the bridge to Danger Zone without having done all this stuff up here. But, I mean, we needed the experience and the armor, so I guess this is just sort of not necessarily essential questing, but probably will make your life a lot easier if you do it. There you go, fella. Have an evasive cloak. It seems like the kind of thing a thief would want. Alright, I could technically buy one more. Do I want to spend all my money? Or do I want to buy a wizard staff? Pretty sure the wizard staffs cast fireball. I would lose 2 defense, but gain some dodge. Dobry would gain 3 defense and some dodge. And Holly would lose 1 defense. And gain some dodge. I'll give it to M. Dobry. We'll spend all our money, I guess. I don't know if that was the right choice. Maybe I should just bought the wizard staff, but I kind of like... I like Cloaks of Evasion. Like, they're usually pretty good in the long term. That, yes, I'm assuming it works the way I remember, but if it does give us not only pretty good defense, but also some pretty solid extra evasion chance, like that's some of the best mid-tier armor in the game in a lot of Dragon Quest anyway. Anyway, I think we're going to end the episode here. We're already getting a little long. Next episode, I guess we'll explore BlueAnkylos at night to see if there's anything new. And then we'll head east of Romali and fight some stronger monsters. So hopefully we are prepared. We might end up having to do some grinding, but I'm not planning on it. And yeah, yeah, I mean, we'll see where life takes us. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And we saved the elves, I guess, or we made the elves less cranky. I don't know. I was always a little bit confused by this section of Dragon Quest III. This is one of those weird parts of the plot that didn't really quite mesh up for me very well. This is why everyone loves Dragon Quest IV and V. They don't really have parts like this. Everything flows a little bit better. But it's not like it's a big deal, just feels a little bit off. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.